Taylor, what kind of candle you got burning back there? And what's that on either side of it? Is that some Japanese? Did your adopted Japanese son?
Oh,
write
it's whatever they called. I don't even know the name of Japanese animations. So I can't even. The
Henchei?
anime. They do anime images. No, it's two blues things, like
Cool.
for hockey. It's got Hull and Oates, Brett Hull and Adam Oates. They were a great duo for the Blues. And then the other one has a bunch of Blues goalies. So throughout the ages. So it was one of the things they give away at the games. And it's actually pretty nice. It's like canvas stretched over. So.
You know, someone asked me if you were actually contemplating adopting a Japanese child.
Wow. Well, did you tell them yes?
I asked them if they needed some help with their smart mouth, and I called them retarded because I was like,
pour it evenly.
I was like, you know, he's like a 26-year-old single man. Why the fuck would he adopt a Japanese child? Like he couldn't if he wanted to, right? They're not going to give him one.
They would not approve me. I'd just show up in Japan and be like, all right, I would like one. Give me like an 08, 09, male or female. I don't really care as long as they're useful. And then
Taylor, get the female.
I will take the male for sure now. So Uncle Kyle doesn't come to visit, and I have to keep my eyes, on him. And they'll be like, "Oh, thank goodness that we are very flush with males." And so then they grab another male, and then they'd be trying to get rid of females. That's what it would be.
That's China.
But true.
I can't tell the difference. So do what you got to do.
Maybe if Japan turns me down, I'll go to China. And I guarantee they will give me one. I'll go to the market. I'll buy a nice Shih Tzu kebab, and then I'll start.
Taiwanese.
Yeah.
I got chipped.
This one's from Thailand. Yeah. Eat much cheaper. Yeah.
It no work is hard.
Not quite as smart. Thailand, like the Mexico of Asia, yeah?
That's the Philippines.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I was trying to think of the reference because a buddy of mine went to Thailand for like kickboxing, jiu-jitsu kind of stuff this past year. And over there, he was telling me about
Is he
all
really
the different...
badass?
He was in the Marines. Yeah, he was.
Okay.
He's badass. He beat the shit out of any of us. And he was saying how it kind of opened his eyes being there for a month, doing all this training and everything. But he was still talking to a lot of these Asian folks around and everything. And he was saying God, I had no idea how fucking racist different countries in Asia are to each other. He was talking about how, I guess it's the Philippines. I mistook it for Thailand, but the Philippines apparently they treat them like second class Asians. They're not quite as they're definitely not up to snuff. The Japanese apparently walk around their farts don't stink, and then the Chinese, but the Chinese and the Japanese hate each other, and then they all kind of have a shared well, at least we all agree not to the Philippines. And then they laugh about that. And then it was interesting though. He was telling me about one night how different just the culture was. They as a prelim fight for when he went up there, and he was telling me, he's like, God, it was the worst. This dude could kickbox so well, he beat me badly. But the prelim fight, they had lots of children, 7, 8, 9 years old, and they put the kids in the ring, and these kids would beat the shit out of each other. Not play fight where someone comes over and is like, enough! No, they go at it, and he was saying that all these old Thai men were standing around screaming, with money in their hand, because they were betting on which kid would beat the shit out of the other kid. And they'd have to carry this bloody child off. And they'd be like, all right, everybody having a good night? And it's well, there's a lot of 8-year-old blood on this mat. I don't know.
I would like to go. Am I the only one who wants to see the child fights of Taiwan?
I would love to go to Thailand and look at child fights.
Yeah.
He made it sound like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've got such a great mental image of this tiny little ring, right? Because they're little kids.
I'll have him
and like
send me pictures.
all the old men with the money, like just that seems like a great. It's like, and the
Yeah.
money in my head is like orange and pink.
They're just like, yeah, it's all
Oh,
silly.
they're colorful ass dollars. I feel like if they're 7 or 8, they're almost too old, right? Because he could do some real damage. Let's get them younger, right? Let's make them 2 or 3 on their wobbly, chubby little legs in diapers, just battling each other.
But
Only if
these
you arm them.
people, they want to see some damage being done. Like, if they didn't want to see damage being done, they would stop these fights after, like, a kid starts bleeding and crying. But they're like, he didn't touch the mat, and I have 5 million whatever dong riding on this. That's over $7 American.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's because their money's bad.
I have a new topic.
Yeah, what do you got?
3,
He's in China.
2, 1, play. So far, so good.
Nobody's been hit yet.
This guy's backing his car into like a oil change place, one of those bays, and there's a mechanic sort of guiding him in.
Oh man, he's about to pick up speed, isn't he?
Good idea, mechanic. Stand directly behind it.
What are you doing? I don't want to be racist, but is the driver possibly Asian as well?
Yes.
I wanted to touch on that, but I didn't want to.
I'll leave it to
And then
us.
the other guy comes in and just kind of stares at him. Are you faking this?
You sleeping on a job again? I want you.
In
I
my
pay you
head,
to come here work. You're not working.
that accent was so good.
Well, you get hit by a car and you freak out. Yeah.
I'm
He's
hoping
in a
he's
Civic.
fallen in the pit. Is he in the pit?
Nah, he's laying on the ground back there. Like, look, I know it's a little fucked up, but something about the look in his face and the noise he made, that like, let's see.
My shattered pelvis.
We're like, not again.
I know.
They have
Wait,
great
is that him
healthcare
standing
in
up?
China, though, so he'll be fine.
No, he ain't standing. He's the one laying on the ground back there out of sight.
Yeah, he's out of sight on my screen.
Yeah, Kyle, when you said he's fine, you just meant he's not dead.
I
Yeah.
just meant don't think too poorly of me while I laugh at this man get crippled.
We're off
Hey,
that
hey,
bridge
the
a long
likes
time
to
ago.
dislikes ratio wasn't too bad, so.
Hey, I'm standing by that. 1,400 up, 300 down. 1,400 people were like, I'd like some more of this. Okay. Let's see where
Make
you're
this a
going here.
weekly series.
Can we get my recommended videos filled with with injured people in car accidents?
I'm just like, I gotta watch it again. Horrible, right? Am I the only one who immediately thought, okay, never doing that?
Yeah. See
Yeah,
that?
Same
Like
page.
every time I hear about like those weird drugs, like I guess ayahuasca is one that like they like a Joe Rogan-y kind of drug that like you go just like sit in a tent in the desert and see things. But apparently that also makes you vomit a lot.
Vomit,
when
yes,
you do
a
it.
lot. Yes.
But I feel like any kind of drug that's going to give you a spiritual, in air quotes, enlightening or whatever, like if right after you take it you're vomiting because your body's like, get it out! Get it out! This is frog poison, you stupid fuck! We've evolved to reject this, and then you're writhing around in a stream with your legs. If you guys couldn't see the video, this fucker was wearing women's yoga pants that were rolled up to his legs. He was 4 feet away from a stream, not like a sand bottom stream, like a stone bottom stream. So there's rocks sitting around everywhere.
Yeah.
He writhes his way, wiggles on down into the stream, starts vomiting onto himself, flips over, and is kicking aggressively, hard with his feet, hitting rocks with his bare feet. And he's going to deserve every cut, every bruise, and all of the, lingering neurological effects that smoking poison from this huckster in the middle of the wilderness gave him.
The shaman.
Oh,
and,
yes.
And there's a lot of people like standing around praying and chanting and stuff. And in the clip that I saw, like they cut to this one old white guy, and he's clearly like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, I like to imagine that he was next in line, and he was just looking for the way out. He was like, you can keep mine. I know what he paid and everything. Just hang on to that.
Yeah,
I'm
pay it
good.
forward. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
gonna-
I had a few visions just now watching Larry writhe in the creek and almost aspirate on his own white foamy vomit. So I'm
Chief
good.
Running Water, you can have my head. Oh no, I actually have a drinking problem, so I do not partake in any kind of toad-related anything. Yeah.
What's your favorite PKA moment?
I thought it was pretty cool when Wing smashed that door that time.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Wait, is someone paid it?
Oh!
That's a good one.
That was nice.
You know what I really enjoyed? Maybe I'm getting nostalgic over this one episode, but when PKA Dan came on and told us about his now ex-wife and the Facebook affair thing that she had, and then in particular, the moment was when we were trying to convince him to go to release that cop's details and ruin his life.
Oh,
That personifies the justice that PKA is all about. Anyway, Lefty, favorite PKA moment?
It's like a single moment, not like a show. Single moment.
That's what the question was. Favorite PKA moment.
I don't know, there's been a few things that almost had many people laughing hysterically, almost in tears. It's got to be Left to Right.
All right, guys, let's go from Lefty to Kyle. Who would bang Jackie?
Wow. Oh my God. No. Stop it. Stop it. That's another Wings moment. Left to right. Who would bang Jackie?
Yeah, and it's just it was funny because it was completely foreign to him, the notion that
the inappropriateness of it.
that it was inappropriate. And that was, to me, the funniest part. That was the hilarity of the whole bit.
Yeah, that was
It
pretty.
like, what was wrong? What's wrong with that? We're like, no, you don't understand. Like, yeah, that was really good.
All right.
Should we wrap the show there?
Yeah, I gotta pee really bad, and I've been holding it because I didn't want to abandon you too.
I blame Joe Lozon. All right.
All right,
Bye.
PK, what is it, 189?
189.
Patreon.com/PK.
Check out our sponsors, description. Bye-bye.
Yep. Good night, guys.
Of course, it's funny when you say it. And it sounds smooth, and like with Lefty when it just seemed condescending and
I wonder how
course.
he's doing now.
Why? Why does everybody wonder? It's like, you know what? I also wonder about that taxi driver that drove us home from PAX that night. Wonder what Raphael's doing. I don't fucking care what Raphael's doing. Like, I had a passing association with Lefty. I wish him the best, but I don't care what he's doing. Like if he joined the army, good, join the army, or if he becomes a professional talk radio. I just don't fucking care.
It's funny. I think I'm the one he hates the most, but I considered my relationship with him way more than passing association. No, we weren't buds. He never confided in whatever life troubles he may have been facing at the time, if any. Who the hell knows? We didn't have that level, but I cared about him.
I played video games with Lefty. I enjoyed playing video games with him. I really didn't know Lefty at all, really. I still don't know the guy's real name. Don't say it out loud. I still don't know it. And you've told me multiple times, and I've read it in our discussions and stuff, and I still don't know the guy's fucking name. So it's like I didn't know him that well. I just didn't. I know Chiz infinitely more better than I ever did Lefty.
I learned Lefty's name when I had to write him a check, I think. So that's the thing. And there was another thing. I don't know if I don't know if I've told the story before. I probably have, but I needed his address again to send him money, and it was hard to get it from him. It was like, do you have to? I was like, well, can't you just, I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to send you a check. Like, I'm not going to spread your address, and never have, even through the darkest times, and never even considered it. And he was like, well, can't you just PayPal it? And I was like, well, I technically could, but I got paid with a check, and I just wanted it to come out of the account that it went into. Like, it seemed more like unified that way, instead of me going off to some other financial institution and paying out of that when the money came in here.
Yeah.
And that's he gave me his address, but it took some talking to. He valued his privacy.
Yeah, sure, and I can't blame him. I value mine as well, but yeah, I just didn't know Lefty very well. We were coworkers. I'd say it kind of ends there. I don't know anything. I don't know what state he lived or lives in. I think he drove a Crown Vic, if I remember correctly, or a Grand Marquis or something like that. Like, he enjoys cigars, and
I think he lived near Chicago, didn't he?
near Chicago, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
So
he was
I would
right
guess
there.
he's in Illinois.
Tried to get him to come and play paintball with us, and he. Anyway, I didn't know. I had a much closer relationship with Wings of Redemption than I ever did with Lefty. God, I want to see what Wings is up to. I need to check his videos out. I haven't checked him out in a while.
What's like the biggest mistake, I guess, financially or anything like that you've seen like a friend make, and in the process of doing it, like it could be a new car or
Don't
whatever.
say my
like,
boat!
You watch it, and then,
You know what I was gonna say?
That didn't cross my mind.
I didn't think of
about
it. I was like, I knew a guy who left Painkiller already over like almost nothing, because he fucking wanted the July revenue, was skipping the June expenses or whatever the fuck it was.
Lefty fucked himself over real good. Lefty fucked himself over real good.
Thank you, Wings. Praise Wings.
Yeah.
Yeah. I made out like a bandit just because after like you guys the experience with like the negotiations and shit, like it was literally a text
Yeah.
when he was like, "Hey, want to do PKA?" I'm like, "Okay." Like, all right, found a host. Let's go.
Yeah, man. Lefty is the worst negotiator. He is part Native American, so it's in his blood.
Ah, that makes a lot of sense.
Like,
yes.
Like remember,
We should have offered him beads.
Who were the Indians who like sold Manhattan Island for like a box of beads? He's related to them. He's related to them.
Very shiny beads.
I found out the Indian thought on this. I think I've said it on the show before, but apparently they thought that owning land was like a stupid, ridiculous concept. Like you could own wind. So when they're selling land for something that is real and tangible, like beads and necklaces, they're like, oh, dumbasses. Here's
I don't
your
think they got
land.
the part where we were like, you were trespassing, red man.
They're like, yeah. They're like, wait, trespassing? Like, I don't know. I thought you just owned it. I don't
be
know.
fair,
This is
it's
our
not
land,
like-
and you are standing on it.
It's not like that's a bamboozle or a trick. It's like, because it's not like only, Western Europeans at that time had invented the concept of owning land. Like if you went to China at the time and we're like, I'll give you all these beads for this farmland here. It's gonna be like, oh, you get the fuck out of here. No, that's where I make all my food.
You're
Like,
dealing
so
with a
like-
population
yeah.
that hasn't invented a goddamn fence yet. You know?
Yeah. Well, frankly, the continent, we haven't changed a lot. Like, every
not
time
doing
we
that
start
great
to
today
progress, another tribe comes in and kills us.
They're just, fence. I don't get it. We just chase cows for fucking ever.
I think it's okay to be horrible to little people and Native Americans because I just don't think there are many of them in our viewer base. Email Chiz if you're a Native American and you're ever offended. Please let us know because
Yes.
I'm going
Native
hard in the
American
paint on your
Business
dirty
at
savages.
pkaonline.com. Let us know. We want to hear from you about your Native American gripes. Tell Chiz.
because up until the point where one of you actually complains, I'm going hard in the paint on you, dirty savage.
You're the
All
next
right.
Irish.
You dirt people who just got massacred. Fucking, you had it coming. Okay, you had it coming. I'm glad we took your land and poisoned your people. Now we have the western side of this continent. It's I'm blanking out. Divine. What was it? Manifest Destiny. Absolutely. Suck it. Suck
Kyle's
it.
a huge proponent of that.
I don't even believe in God, but I believe in manifest destiny when it comes to you dirty people.
But it's convenient.
Jesus Christ.
You wampum eating motherfucker.
We'll end up having at least one Native American person.
Yeah, and all it takes is one to complain, and I'll shut up, and I'll never say it again. But when you're just an idea of a group of people that are, I don't think any of you are listening. Just like I don't think any midgets are listening. So I feel like I can say midget, you know. Don't drink anymore. I don't care for it. I don't enjoy being drunk. So I find other ways to have a good time.
I'm big. I'm small. I'm red.